China Globbers. The Time Reckoning. Chapter 4. The Vault of the Forgotten. The sun was wrong. James Aldridge noticed it first. The light in Langhua was too still. Too golden. Shadows didn't stretch. They hovered. Time was no longer flowing, it was pausing, like the world was waiting to breathe again. "We don't have much time," Mei Ling said, clutching the obsidian compass. It didn't point north. It didn't spin. It pulsed, like a heartbeat under pressure, sinking with the tremors beneath the ancient city. They were no longer just searching for answers. They were racing against erasure itself. Bell, if this journey has you hooked, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the story. Every click helps uncover the truth behind the China Globbers and the world they left behind. The map that breathes. As they followed the compass, the ruins of Langhua shifted around them. Streets twisted. Statues blinked. Murals changed their shapes as if trying to remember what they once were. Then they found it, a mural of the hollow cycle, depicted as a mouth swallowing stars. Below it, in glyphs that shimmered and writhed, was a riddle. Only what is forgotten can be remembered. Only the lost may enter the vault. Mei Ling gasped. "We can't find the vault unless we erase ourselves." James stared at her. "You mean, we have to let go of who we are?" The price of entry. They stood before the stone altar. To open the vault, they had to surrender their names, their identities, their memories. Mei Ling pressed her palm to the stone. She spoke. "My name was once Mei Ling." The glyphs glowed. James hesitated. "If I forget who I am, will I still know why I'm here?" "Your soul will remember," Mei Ling whispered. James closed his eyes. "Then let it guide me." The stone vanished. And beneath it, a spiral staircase of black jade, leading into silence. Inside the vault. The Vault of the Forgotten was not a room. It was a library of lost timelines, floating in weightless dark. Books without titles drifted past. Portraits of people who never lived blinked and turned their faces away. Globes spun showing continents that never existed. And in the center, a single chair, occupied by a figure wrapped in chains made of clock hands. "You have entered where no Globber ever dared," it said. "So speak. What truth do you carry?" James stepped forward, now nameless. But the scroll, the Scarlet Manifest's final thread, unrolled before him. It read. The debt was never a curse. It was a prison. The Globbers tried to guard the world from what waits outside time. The Keeper's judgment. The chained figure nodded slowly. "Then you understand. The hollow cycle was not their invention. It was their prison god." Mei Ling looked up. "Then how do we break it?" The vault began to shudder. "You don't break it," the figure said. "You replace it." Suddenly, the compass in her hand lit up, burning through her skin, and a hidden door behind the vault revealed a small chamber. A loom. Not for thread, for time. Spools of memory, moments, and potential futures spun quietly. A single seat sat in front of it. "One of you must stay," the keeper said. "One must become the weaver. One must carry the truth back." A choice beyond time. James and Mei Ling stared at the loom, and then at each other. "I've lost enough," she whispered. "Let me go back. Let me warn them." "Then I will stay," James said, voice steady. "I will weave a better history." As the vault faded, so did he, slowly pulled into the loom, thread by thread, his soul binding itself to a new cycle. The return. Mei Ling awoke in a different world. Langhua was no longer a ruin. It was a museum. A forgotten city rediscovered. Its history rewritten. There were no Globbers. No hollow cycle. But something lingered in her dreams. A whisper. A name she couldn't remember. Yet every night, she would light a lantern and whisper to the sky. "Thank you, James." Even though she didn't know why. The whispers begin. It started with dreams. Mei Ling would wake at 3:33 a.m., drenched in sweat, echoes of a ticking loom and a man's voice calling her from across centuries. The world around her looked perfect. Langhua was now a cultural treasure, bustle. ING with tourists and scholars, its dark past erased. But things weren't right. Mirrors didn't show her reflection sometimes. People spoke of events that never happened. The hollow cycle had vanished, but the hole it left behind had begun to leak. Fire. The mystery deepens. If you're enjoying this epic, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to keep the China Globbers legacy alive. The Broken Archive. May return to the old Global Archive, the underground repository where forbidden Globber records were once stored. It was supposed to be sealed. But the doors were open. Inside, pages flew like birds through stale air. The scrolls were blank, bleeding ink onto the floor. And carved into the central stone pillar was a phrase, burned in deep like a wound. The first debt was never paid. Suddenly, a voice echoed behind her. Mei Ling. She turned and gasped. James Aldridge stood before her. But not the one she remembered. This James was fractured, his face shimmered between ages, like time didn't know where to place him. His eyes held galaxies. I've returned. But I'm not alone. The debt collectors. The moment James stepped back into the timeline, he brought something with him. Shadows. Not metaphorical, real living fractures in space. Entities shaped like men, but made of emptied time, dragging behind them clocks with missing hands and broken pendulums. They were the collectors of the first debt. And they had awakened. The loom wasn't built to rewrite time, James whispered. It was built to bind it. Every cycle we've tried to fix has been just another knot. Then what do we do? May asked, trembling. James looked at her, his voice hardening. We find the original bargain. The one that started it all. And we break it. The original bargain. There was a place older than Langhua. A place even the Globbers had only whispered about. Drakethul, the sunken city between history and myth. According to forbidden Globber maps, Drakethul was where the first bargain was struck. Not by kings. Not by merchants. By dying people, desperate to escape the end of their world. And in exchange for safety, they gave their future to a force beyond comprehension. The hollow cycle. Into the deep. To reach Drakethul, James and May had to descend into the Mariana Rift. Not the trench, but below it, through a submerged temple that hadn't seen sunlight in 12,000 years. With an ancient sub built by the last surviving Globber engineer, they dove. As they approached the forgotten city, the ocean changed. Water stood still. Fish swam backward. Sound didn't echo. Time didn't just move differently here. It waited. And at the center of it all was a black monolith, etched with glowing red runes. The original bargain. The choice. If we destroy it, James said, we may unravel everything, including this world. But if we don't, May whispered, the collectors will take it all anyway. Then from the monolith, a voice emerged, not spoken, but thought, old and booming. Break the bond, and history collapses. Keep it, and you are mine forever. James turned to May. There's no perfect ending, May. Just a new beginning, or no beginning at all. Together, they pressed their hands to the monolith. And chose. The fracture. The monolith shattered. A scream echoed across all timelines. And the world fractured. Cities flickered between eras. Skyships roared through ancient skies. Dinosaurs ran through crumbling superhighways. Time exploded outward in every direction. But amid the chaos, one light remained. A small candle burning in Langhua's temple. And from it, the new cycle began to form.